Sorry, Annalise, did we do the same thing yesterday? The 300s, it was a little bit different, I think. We did from the bottom of the page, something you... Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Okay, okay, that's good. Sorry to interrupt you. Yep, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, it's okay, I think.
I just have some, sorry, I just have some funny sound, like kind of space sound, I don't know. Like, yeah, when you're talking, it's some background kind of music like robot. Oh, it's not like repeating, it's some, I don't know, something funny. It's okay, yeah, I'm trying to hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me better now?
Sam?
Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you well, but with the ground.
I think it's better now. What do you think, Tatiana? Isn't it better? I think it was the noise from the environment before, but it's better now.
Okay, because I've just turned the mic on up here, the one that's on my camera.
It's closer to you.
Yeah, so it's closer to me.
Yeah.
I'll turn my mic off on Teams until I come back to Teams. Just remind me, all right? So you don't have two lots of... Okay, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
You're not here.
No? No, you can't hear me.
No, we can't hear you.
Okay, right.
It's okay. We go like that. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, fine. Let's just go with this for the time being. All right. So we've done that. We've got our 2700. We've got our 3 and 3 there. We're now going to measure in from the left-hand side along the top one, and we're going to measure in 25, which is to there. So that's 500, 1 meter, 1 meter 50, 2 meters, 2 meters 50, or 2500 millimeters from this side, and do it there and also up the top as well, which I can't really see. There I can now. Hello. Okay, now there's going to be a cat walking across the screen in a minute. There we go. Excellent work. Kitten.
Oh my God,
Look at it. Wow. What's it doing? Love you.
Are you okay there? Can I get on with the work so everyone can keep getting on? No, yes.
Oh, I love it. God,
Sorry.
cat.
Come on, darling. You go up there. That's a good boy. All right. So from there, no, don't eat the sticky tape. Okay, good. There we go. It's just not good for you, all right? I'm not having to take it to the vet again because you've eaten something silly. All right, so from here, measure from that point 3 meters and then mark every 500 off. And then mark every 500 off as the cat is showing you how to do. All right? That would be good. Come on, darling. Off you get. I know. Come on. There we go. You're a good boy when you want to be. There you go. Good boy. Lovely. That's a good boy. Okay, sorry guys. So obviously you got all of that, didn't you? So measure across here 3 meters at 1 to 20 and then mark off every 500 and then do the same at the top here. This is if you don't have a T-square at home. It's just going to make it it's going to make it straighter if you do it this way if you don't have a T-square. But if you've got a T-square, you only have to mark one side. And then I'm just going to mark this grid all the way across. What was that? That was just my book. Excellent. And that one. And that one. And that one. And then mark up the side here, 500, but do it from the bottom up, or you can do it on this side. Do it from the bottom up, okay? So put your 0 on the bottom of where these lines are, these vertical lines are, and then mark off every 500. Because what will happen is that you will have 200 at the top of the drawing. So what we're sort of doing at the moment is we're sort of drawing an elevation at this point in time, and this is going to be the ground, and this is going to be the ceiling. All right?
Yep.
Okay, now I'll do it again on this side. Measure up every 500. You guys do this step by step with me. It'd be lovely, because then you don't have to have any homework then. And then again make sure that all of these, oh, why is that not what I thought it was? Oh, no, it is. I can't draw straight lines. Maybe that's what my problem is. And then, so you'll end up with a 500 by 500 grid on what will be the back wall.
Sorry, the top one is 200?
Yeah, it will end up being leftover of 200 up the top here, and you want it to be up the top of where the ceiling is than down on the floor, because if you have it down here, it will interrupt your grid when you do the perspective. Okay?
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, okay.
All right. And then across here like that. So this is what you'll have. So that's 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 200. Okay?
Yeah. And just one question, sorry, I missed probably understand. From the left side, we measured to 25 grams first.
Yeah, we did. Let me just, where will I put that? I'll do it up here so you can see it. So,
yeah, but what was that for? Like, I mean, what we measured?
So that from there to there is 2,500 at 1 to 20. Okay? That's where and then
is that a wall, or like how did we find it?
Look, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to set this up in the middle of the page.
Okay.
And I'm giving you measurements. You don't always have to do that. It depends on how big your wall is. Do you know what I mean? If my wall was much larger, then this measurement here would be smaller. But I would then be guessing that rather than giving a precise measurement. I'm giving you a precise measurement so that you guys do exactly what I'm doing, so that you know, when you're doing it, if it looks the same as mine or pretty close, then you know, thumbs up, it's good. All right. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is, now that we've drawn the wall, this particular wall, which I'm just going to do this and darken these things and darken that one and darken that up a little bit, just so I can see those outside lines are a bit darker. Now we're going to put in our vanishing point, and because we want to be looking from above down into the room, that's why we drew this first horizon line up here. All right, so we've lifted the horizon above the actual ceiling of the room so we can look down into it. It'll still look like a perspective. It just gives you a better view of the room, so you can put better detail in for yourself. So I'm going to count in 1, 2, okay, from this side, 1, 2, and I'm going to extend that second line from the right hand side up until it intersects with my horizon line coming across here. So see how I extended that line up to there? And then I'll put a dot where it crosses over, where it intersects. I'll put a dot there, and that's going to be my vanishing point. So put VP there so you always know that it's going to be there. Oh, Cameron's gone a little bit wobbly. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Gosh, it's really, anyway, sorry.
It's okay, if it's not too straight, it's fine too.
Okay, now once I've got my VP, go from your vanishing point to each point of this big square we've drawn. So put your pencil on the vanishing point, bring your ruler up to it, and then pivot your ruler around until it lines up with this bottom corner here. And then draw a line out to the bottom of your page. Then do the same with this other corner here. Down the bottom, draw a line coming out like that. And then you are going to, from here, again, but I'm going to just you know, as long as you line up with the vanishing point to the top of the square here, draw a line out. So see how the line isn't going up that way, it's going this way because we are looking down into the room, but it's still in perspective. And again with the other corner on the other side, from there, from the vanishing point, and then draw a line out like that. So you've got one wall, floor, and then we are above the ceiling. So that you don't get confused with these lines coming out, I'm going to get rid of, once I've done what I needed with them, I'll get rid of them. I'll get rid of the word ground, and I'll get rid of the word and the line ceiling here, so it doesn't interfere with my grid, and that way we can see. So you can see it a little bit better. So that's a wall, that's the floor, and that's the other wall, and then across here is where the ceiling is, and we're looking down. Now, the next thing you're going to do is from the vanishing point through every 500 down the bottom here, draw a line like you did with this one. So I guess get my pencil back again. Vanishing point, line, vanishing point. Now this one will just come straight down because it's right on that grid line. And then again, vanishing point from at this 500, vanishing point, this 500, vanishing point. I'm just going to keep saying vanishing point until our ears bleed all the way down. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. All of these lines here come from the vanishing point through to each one of these 500s on the back wall, because this is a wall. Okay, how are we going? Are we all okay so far?
Yeah. Yeah, all good.
Good.
Thank you.
Tea. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm still here, just coming and going because my daughter is in the other room. So
You've got a lot on your hands, a dog and a daughter.
Yeah, a daughter, and I have a lot of things to do, laundry and like dishes and everything.
I didn't do mine.
You'll do it later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now that we've done that, we want to form a grid on this here so that we can use the grid that we've drawn on the plan that we had, which is this one. I'll just go back to that one. Where is it? That one. No, not that one, not that one. No. So see how that grid is on the plan? We're now going to draw that grid in perspective. In perspective on here. Okay. Now, because you guys might not have a big table to draw on, I know that when we first did it, we doubled the width of the wall we were looking at. So if you can't do that, what I'm going to do and what I'm going to suggest to you, I worked it out yesterday, is that I'm going to extend this first line down, one up from the bottom, so this first line here, okay, not that one, but this one. And then I'm going to measure out 500s, whoops, using the correct measuring tool, from the edge of here, and I'm going to go 500, 500, which is a meter, and then 1.5, which is 1500 millimeters. Okay, so I end up with something with a point out on this line here. Now I know we're not using our vanishing point, but it's because we can't draw it out, or you might not be able to draw it out at home to do it. So I worked it out that we can do it this way. Once you draw this line out and you measure out 1500 millimeters to this point here, you can then put your ruler from that point on this line and through the corner of the very corner of the room, and then draw lines going across. So diagonally, so it will come from that point, and then you draw a line all the way across until it hits the other side of the floor. And that's going to help us to create the grid. If I kept following this line, it would go out to the correct measurement on the horizon, but you guys can't do that because, you know, as I said, you might not have enough. So I'm using this line here, and I've worked it out that it's 1500 out, and I can draw a line going through there. Once you've drawn the diagonal line going from one side to the other, every time that line intersects with the lines coming forward, you're going to draw a horizontal line. Now, this is where you're going to use your judgment. Line your ruler up with that first line there so it looks like it's evenly spaced all the way across. All right? Draw a line going across. Then this is the next one coming out. So again, using the line that I just drew before, bring your ruler up so it looks like it's evenly spaced and draw it across. If you have your T-square, then you can use your T-square to do that. So I'll just bring this dreadful T-square down to here. Oh, no, I can't get that to do what it's supposed to do. So again, drawing from one side to the other. There's the next one where it intersects. And here's the next one. And then here's the last one, which finishes on this side of the wall. So you should, this is what it should look like. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 500 by 500 millimeter squares. But when we go back and we look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to have to add another 2. And to do that, it's a really simple thing, simple way to do it. So what we do is we come down to this, the last row, the last one we drew across, and you put your ruler between, this is the one that we're going to do. So I'll just make that a little bit darker so you can see it. So this grid here, I'm going to put my ruler between that point and that point, okay? Because what that will do is it will help me to extend my grid, but also keep it in scale. So from here to here, I mark off that one and I mark off that one. So they're the lines that are coming down in perspective. So I've got 2 more points here. And I'll use those to add my 2 extra grids. And you can keep doing that. That's if you've got a great big huge page. You can keep doing that until the grid starts to go out of perspective, meaning it starts to look really odd. All right? So you should have something that looks like that.
Like that?
I'll just get rid of those lines there so that everyone can see, so you don't think that that's part of the grid. Right. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And then we've still got 6 going across here, which is what we want to have. So that's our grid set up to draw the room. How'd you go, guys? You all right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Lovely. More tea for me. And
The voice is good. Is it my internet or you?
okay. Alrighty. Now, I'm not sure what you've got at home. If you've got some trace paper, cool. If you don't, if you've got some butcher paper, or not butcher paper,
I
bacon.
do everything.
Okay. But if you don't have trace paper, you can, if one of those $2 shops are open near you and you're allowed to go there, wear a mask, make sure that you keep yourself safe. You can buy, in some cases, they will have, something that looks like that, trace paper. So this is just really cheap stuff. It's not very thick. So the MSG, which is this here, is only 60. So it's very thin, but it's fine for drawing perspectives. If you can't have any of this, or you don't have any of this at home, next time you go out to Coles or Woolies, get yourself some baking paper, because that works just as well. All right, and all you do is you roll it out and you cut yourself off a sheet. I don't have any baking paper at the moment, so and you don't have to buy the expensive stuff. Just buy, I think you can get it in rolls of 30 meters and whatever. But you can, it's enough to, you can just roll it out and just cut off a piece of what you want. So then after you've done that, I want you to put your trace paper over the top, and see how you can't really see that, can you? But you can see it down the bottom. See how I've moved the trace paper so it's not in line with the bottom of my page? I want the trace paper to sit in the center of that grid. Okay, so you don't have to put it exactly over the paper. You can bring it up a little bit so it's nice, and so this sits right in the center of it, but you still maintain the grid. And then stick that down with some sticky tape. It's always good. I'm only going to use 2 pieces. I don't need to do the other. I got some of this magic tape that is environmentally friendly, or it's greener tape. There we go. Magic tape. I got it from, it's a bit more expensive. Don't necessarily go and buy it, but I just thought it was interesting that they're trying to produce a sticky tape that's more environmentally friendly.
Well, I wonder what it might do.
Don't know. Some sort of green plant kind of thing. I have no idea. Anyway, so then you have this over the top. Make sure you have a sheet of paper, of plain paper, available to yourself, so that when you need to check on your drawing, sorry, I'm facing away from the camera. Let me just get, where would it show me where it is? Just another A4 sheet or another A3 sheet, so that you can, when you want to check things to see if they look all right, you can slide the paper underneath and you'll be able to see what you've drawn on the trace paper, so you don't get too confused. When you get to this stage, you will draw in only, I've lost my pencil again, there it is. Only draw in the wall that you're looking at. Okay. Don't draw in the grid, just the wall you're looking at and the floor and the other 2 walls. So you end up with something that looks like this when I finish it. There. And then that side. So what will end up happening is that you'll just have something that looks like that. Okay? With your vanishing point. So make sure you mark your vanishing point too. And then I haven't stuck the bottom of my page down, so I can easily lift that and put white paper behind it so I can see what I've just drawn. Okay. What you doing?
Setting up my stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, so there you go. Otherwise, if you have stuck it down the bottom, you're just going to have to, you just sort of thread it underneath and push it up if you have got sticky tape down here. But I just find it easier to do that, and then I can lift it off and look at it, or then put the paper underneath. So there you go. Alrighty, now let me just print out the page with the plan on it so that I don't have to go from screen to screen. Is that on? No, it's on now. Keeps turning itself off. So you guys get yourself up to that while I print something off so that I can just show it really quickly to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Where is that? There's that one. I want to print that page off. Okay. Print. I want it to fit. I don't want it to current, and landscape, and whatever. There we go. Oh, I'm a bit chilly. You might have to put a cardigan on. Cardi. Why is this so cold? It's all got turned up. That's why. Kitten, are you all right down here? I can hear noise. Where are you? Oh, I can't find you now. Where are you? Are you all right? Okay. Lost the cat. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, there's a little boy over in the corner in the little bed over there just ignoring me. Ooh, okay, sorry. Obviously I've done something wrong. Okay, now. No. Oh. I have to actually select the printer. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Print. Current page. Let's go there. Excellent. Let's go fit to screen. Let's make it landscape. It's color. Lovely. It should print out any minute now. Okay. No, it's not printing out. It's yes. Oh, here it comes. It's coming now. Just having a bit of a think about everything. I really like your jumper, Tatiana. It's lovely.
My jumper? My jumper?
No, it's really nice.
This one is like probably 7, 8 years old, almost like me.
No, surely not. Surely not. No, it's really nice colours. Really like the colours.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so I could just use this piece of paper now so that you guys can see what I'm talking about rather than having to go off screen all the time. Okay, so, and then I can draw all over the top of it, which is always good. Okay, so we're going to draw this one first.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, it starts just before this first grid here. All right. So if I look at that, and then I also can see that it's only 500 wide as well. So let's draw this one first and see how we go. So I'll put that up there so I can see it. And so this is my first grid on the floor. And as it was saying, it's going to start a little bit before. So if I draw a line a little bit before the end of this first one, which I can do. I'll draw it so it comes out and it hits the 500 mark there. That's a 500, that line there. And then it stops again a little bit before the second one. So I'll draw that. And so then I will have something that looks like those two lines. And then I'll go from the front line here, follow it back to the vanishing point. And then I should have, sorry, Pussycat's coming over to help again. I should have something that's like that. So it starts just before the first grid and then it finishes just before the second grid. So if you look at this one here again, oops, can't see, just before the first grid and just before the second one, because the bed actually starts 2 boxes from the wall, and it starts 2 boxes from the wall, it comes out 4 boxes or 4 grid lines. So I can count that. I can go 1, 2, and it starts here, right on that line, and it comes out 1, 2, 3, 4. So it finishes out here. And then it's 3 of these grids wide. So I go 1, 2, 3. So that's where that's where the bed finishes on the ground. And then it comes out 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. What are you doing? Stop doing that. And then I'll end up. So the grid on the actual plan will help you place the grid in perspective. And again, I can go from here, from the front part. It'll follow the grid anyway. Draw a line so it does that. I'm just going to get rid of that thing underneath here, so it's not as dark, so you don't get confused by that. That's just me bringing that back a bit so it's not as dark as it was. There we go. Okay, so far what we've got is we've drawn the first side table, here, and then the bed, and then you guys work out where the second side table is, and I'll draw it. So the second side table starts a little bit away from the bed. So if I go, okay, a little bit away from the bed, so I'm looking at about this much, and then I go, it finishes, 500 again, so I go to the next square and do that. Now here you can see that the space between here and here is different between the space here and here, and that's because it's getting bigger as it comes towards you. So I'm sort of, navigating and just making it sort of start where I need it and finish where I need it to finish. And again, then you can draw the lines going across out to the 500, because that's how deep this is. And we do that. And we do follow that one out. Use your T-square, or, make sure your ruler is parallel with grid. And then if I follow this front part back to my vanishing point, it should, intersect those lines. So there is the plan drawn on the grid. So this plan now has been drawn on the grid in here, as you can see. And when I lift this up, or if I put a piece of paper underneath it, probably be better for you guys to see. You should have something that looks like that. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, good. Let's draw the windows in, which are here. So the wall stops a meter from this wall here, and then each one of these is a meter away, because each one of those squares are 500 by 500. So if I go back to my grid and I mark on, okay, it starts 1 meter in, so that's 1 meter in. And that's where the first door is going to be. The corner of the room is going to have a door, and then I'm going to count 1, 2 boxes in perspective on the ground down, and that's 1 door, another 2 after that. That's my second door, and that's my third door. So I've just marked those using the grid. The height of the doors I changed from what we did or what he's done. He made his 2100. I'm just going to say, for the purpose of what we're doing, make the doors go up to 25. So if we count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it just means that you don't have to measure something again.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either have them at 2300 or you can have them at 25.
That will be roughly
2100 or you can have them at 25. All right. So if I follow that up to the 25, I can draw a line going up like this. I can draw a line going across until it hits the corner of the room. And then I can draw this one going up because this is the second one. I'll draw that one in. So that's my 2 sliding doors there. And then to get this 25 going down here, use your vanishing point and where this line hits the corner of these 2 walls, put your ruler between the vanishing point and where that line hits that side wall and draw the line down using a vanishing point. So you'll get something that looks like that.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you can draw each one of these that you marked down the bottom here up. So again, I'm going to use, if you don't have a T-square, use your ruler, make your ruler parallel with that upright line. Oh, it just moved as I started to draw. So that's that one. And then again, I will use that one and one more time. And then we've got those. So I've got 3 sliding doors here. Now we're not going to put a lot of detail in the sliding doors at this stage. We're just going to concentrate on the inside. And then I'll get rid of what's left over of the line. And then you should have something that looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Alrighty. Now, what we need to do is we need to bring the height of the 2 side tables and the bed up. But we're going to start at the front of the drawing rather than the back of the drawing, and we're going to bring this one up first because it's closest to us.
Okay.
And we can see it more easily. And by the time we bring the bed up, we're not really going to see that side table there. We'll only see the very top of it. So bear with me. So if we go down to here, and we're going to make the side tables, I keep losing my pencil all the time, 500 high. And to get 500 out into my perspective, like we did for the door here, we'll do it for the 500 for this wall. So I go back to this wall, which is the only wall I've used my scale ruler on and that I can measure on. And if I come up one of these squares here, that's 500. Now I need to get that 500 down here. So I'll use my vanishing point and that 500 I marked, and I'll draw a line very lightly down that wall. So that line here is 500 all the way down this wall, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I will come back to this front one here. So I'll just sort of do that a little bit. Don't you do that. And then I'm going to draw vertical lines up until they meet this line I've just drawn down. Now, anything in a 1 point perspective, anything that has a vertical and a horizontal line in either what am I trying to say? Elevation will remain vertical and horizontal. The only things that are going to change in the perspective are the outside and inside of each object, sides, okay? But everything else will remain, vertical or horizontal. So I'll go to the back here. I'm going to line because I've got the grid, I'm going to line my ruler up with this line here, so I've basically got the same distance happening. But I'm then going to draw this line coming up here until it hits this one coming out. And I'll do the same for the one at the front. I'll use my existing line that I just drew to make sure my ruler is parallel and bring it up until it hits that line as well. So that is the back of this box. Now I want to get that point out into the middle of my grid here. So what I'll do is, so that I don't get too confused, I'll put my trace paper underneath and I will draw. I'm going to move this line, I need to move it up to there. So I will draw a horizontal line out that way. I'll do the same for this one as well from that point. Just try and make sure that this is straight. Draw that out. So I've got two horizontal lines, and then I'm going to draw these ones going up. So this one will come up until it intersects with that line that came out, and this one will do the same. Make sure it's as straight as possible, and then I need to draw a line going from here to here, and I can do that by putting my pencil on that point and going back to my vanishing point. And if I'm good, then that line will go through that dot that I just had here. So that's how you get the height on any of your objects. Okay.
Yeah, but I think I have to. No, I think I'll do it now. Because my stuff. No, all good. Yeah, I've done it.
Okay. So there's the first one. You all right, kitten?
Oh. Sorry, that's exactly where I have issues. So mine, this site, I don't know if I can show you this. How I can show you? You can you see that?
Yes, I can.
It looks big, like bigger than yours, and it passes the line of the bed.
Yeah, no, it looks fine to me.
Looks fine?
Yeah,
I think
it's going.
So the top, okay, I should do this, so it looks, maybe it's correct.
It's probably correct, it's just that mine looks smaller on screen maybe. But as long as you've done...
This is the bed, like one side.
You're going to have to put...
So the bed, the box, the side table passes the line, both lines of the bed.
Oh, okay. So when you went
that's what I'm saying. But yours is only passes one bottom side of the bed.
I got it. When you measured up here, did you only go up 1/500?
Yeah, the first grid. So
and did you go back to your vanishing point and follow it down there? It just might be
I think
a little bit different to mine. Just recheck it. If something doesn't look right, you have to go back and look at and check your points. So you work backwards.
It's all depend on the angle of the vanishing point and this line.
And just, if you're not using a T-square, it might be a little bit wobbly. So just go with it at the moment. If it looks a bit weird, then you can change it afterwards. Okay.
Okay. This part has the issue that I've from yesterday. I'm still struggling. Why this looks so big?
I don't know why it looks so big. You're just special. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Everyone is special. Mine is unique.
Everybody is special. Everybody has their own tips and tricks.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
you tell your daughter that. Mummy's special. Mummy's special because she's in Annalise's special class.
Yeah, I know.
Who are the special people? Because Annalise is special.
Okay.
You're a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy, lying all over the paper that I've just drawn on. Lovely. Oh,
Can I see yours, Tatiana? You're fine. The box, look,
I think
it's
so.
big. Yours also is bigger than the bed. Passes the line of the bed, or
I try to show. I don't know if you can see it.
no,
Actually.
I can see it. Yeah, no, it looks good.
Can you see it? Because I can't see it on screen.
Yeah, I can see it. Yep, it's fine.
This one it look a bit funny.
Yeah, look, it might do, but it's just check to make sure that you're following that back to the vanishing point. This line here.
Oh yeah. I didn't do it to vanishing point.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it
right.
might yeah, when this one comes up, it's sort of like you're sort of chasing
Yeah.
a line around so that you get to there. So you can do it that way, or you can do it the way I just showed you. Depends on what's going to help you draw what you need to draw. I'm cold.
another thing I think, which may. What do you think if I put the lines of the second bedside table like on the bottom of the page, further than the bed? It looks again bigger, or if I go closer to bed, it looks smaller. What?
Well, it will look smaller, but what you have to do is you have to go back to your grid, make sure that you only counted up once.
Yeah.
And then that you followed that from here to here down the wall, and that you followed both of these lines coming up here. Now, if yours is slightly different, it might be that, you know, the distance between the top of the ceiling here and here might be a little bit out. You might have done it only 200 away from here, which means that it will slightly change what this does, but not a great deal. So just keep going with it, and then we'll have put it up on the Moodle, and I can have a look at it.
Okay.
And if necessary, I can print it out and go over the top of it and go, what happened? Okay. So, all right. So far I've done that. All right. Now we're going to do the bed next. And the bed is going to be the same height as everything else. So I shall use that same... What? Yeah, what? Who?
I'm sorry, the latest point and convention point there. This might struggle for now. How to find it? Let's see.
The height?
I mean, this one, to make it...
Oh, okay. So if you've drawn that line across there, and you've drawn that line going up, and they cross over, from that point, you then go back to your vanishing point. So really, you're sort of doing...
I got it.
Yeah, got it? Okay. I'll just get rid of it because it's... I got a really nice black rubber, but it's not like the black rubber that I saw. It's not. Anyway. Okay. So let's do the bed the same way as we did here. So, Solma, your bed will be might end up being a little bit higher. Don't worry about it. Just make
Okay,
sure it
yeah,
lines,
that's
just make
what
sure it
I
lines
was-
up with your existing table. Okay.
Okay, all good, yeah.
So I will go, so I'm going to go to the corner of the bed, which I can see through the side table. I'll draw a line going up until it intersects with that 500 line that I drew out here.
Mhm.
That, oh, that's not very straight, is it? Let's just try and draw that a little bit straighter, shall we? That'd be nice.
And these lines are very close to each other,
They
like the
are
line.
really, really close to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's what maybe I was a little bit confused. And you still use the grid, and it's just a lot of lines.
It is. That's why
fine.
putting
Okay.
the piece of paper underneath
Yeah.
it will help you to work out whether you're doing the right thing. So
Okay.
if you
Yeah,
do that,
yeah, that's right. I should use another
just
paper to check sometimes.
Yeah, so that you can see that you're doing the right thing, and then you can take it away, and it's you know
Okay.
absolutely fine. It makes a huge difference to
Yeah.
seeing things. So we've done the same thing with the bed.
Yeah.
I'm now going to bring that line out into the perspective. So I'll line my ruler up. I've got to find where that point is. There it is. So I'm lining my ruler horizontally with this line here so that I can see it. I'm going to draw that line coming out like that. Okay, so this has come up to the height line, then I've drawn it out into the perspective. Now I have to get this point up there. So I will draw from the bottom of the bed. I'll line my ruler up with the grid at the back here so it's parallel.
So where did you end the line? This line?
Oh, I just make it, you can draw it as far as out to here.
Okay.
You just want it to go over the top of where that point is. All right?
Okay, I see.
And then you draw that going straight up, and then it intersects with the one you drew out here. And then like we did with the side table, get your vanishing point and put your ruler between your vanishing point and those two lines that intersected there, and just very gently at the moment draw it back a little bit, okay? Because then you're going to bring this line coming straight up, which is the other corner of the bed, until it hits this line you just drew. And once it does, you can bring it back until it hits the 500 mark on the wall here.
Oh, okay, so you did the first line from like right side to left. We find out but the other one is the other way, from left to right.
To right, yeah, because I've chased it around. It doesn't matter which way you do it.
Okay.
As long as it's helping you. But I tend to draw from the front back because you can see things properly, and then you can do that. And I only need that bit there. So I'm just going to make that a bit darker, and I'm going to make that line there a bit darker so I can see it. And I'm going to put the back of the bed in there as well. So now, I can't see where that line is. There it is. There. So now I should have something that looks like that. Whoop. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. All right. Now, it's going to start becoming more complex and complicated now, because we're going to be drawing another one of these over here.
Yeah.
Now, we've got the one that's on the ground here, okay? So that's, when we first mark them off. We don't need to draw all those lines up because it'll just make things more complex. What we will do, let me just fix that line up a bit. We've still got our 500 coming down here. So I'm going to, rather than draw the line fully, I'll just mark the points. So this is the bottom of the other side table. And I'm just going to line my ruler up until it hits, where's that line? There it is. Until it hits this line that goes back. Okay, so that's that line being drawn up here. And I've just put a point there rather than drawing the line. I've used my ruler to find the point and then I've marked it. But don't draw the line because then you end up with too many lines. All right?
Yeah.
And you can do the same with this one as well. You can put your ruler at the bottom of that one and then again, if I could get this straight, I'll come up and mark it on that 500. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I will draw from there straight out into the perspective, keeping my lines straight. I'm using on this side, I don't know if you can see that, I'm using these lines here to keep my ruler parallel. And I'll draw that coming out. Not very far because it's only the table. And once I've done that, and once I do the other one on the other side, drawing a small line out, I can actually come back to this one at the front here, put my ruler between that point and the vanishing point, and draw a line going between these two lines I just drew out that way. So we've just drawn the top of the other side table. All right.
Okay, sorry. Why you use the other table?
Because
the
it's still
corner.
500 and it makes it easier for me. Rather than bringing it up this way, I'm actually using this so they both look like they sit properly together. All right. So
okay, the same line.
Yeah,
okay.
And they will be the same line. And then that means I don't have to draw another line going up here and another line going up there. Again, it's cutting down on the amount of line work that I'm putting on. So I can use another object of exactly the same shape and size to help me draw this one. And then all I have to do is do some very, very simple lines that go straight down. So they will be vertical at 90 degrees, and then I can see the top of my table. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then get rid of all the stuff that you don't want to see. So I'm going to get rid of that on the bottom. I'm going to get rid of the line inside the bed there as well because that's annoying that I drew on the ground. So I get rid of it. And I'm going to get rid of that line too because I won't really see it. And I'll just clean up these lines as well. I won't see the bed inside there, and I won't see that line or that line, and then I won't see that or any of that because the bed's there. So I'll get rid of that. And the bed is, and I end up with that. And then I'm going to, this is really weird. And then I'm going to use that. And that one. So I end up with something that looks like that. Now, so that I can have a nice, clean, fresh drawing that I can start to put detail on, I'm going to put another piece of trace paper over the top. And what that does is it also cuts down on the mess that I've created. So you can see how I've taken away anything so we don't have see-through, side tables and things like that. Just makes it a bit easier. So again, I'll get another piece of trace paper or baking paper and pull it out. Great.
Where did you buy this from? A dollar
I
shop?
bought it from one of those reject shops. It might not be Mond, whatever this is, but you just want to look for the word tracing paper. Okay.
It's better than a baking paper. Is it like a roll and it's all rolls?
Yeah,
When you put when you roll it out, don't don't have the roll on the top, have the roll on the bottom, so
On the
the
bottom,
curve
okay.
goes
Yeah.
this way, so that when you put it down and stick it down, it doesn't roll up at the edges.
Yeah, that's right. I used the other way.
Well,
Yeah.
you're a silly bugger, aren't you? All right, so put another piece of trace paper on the top like this, and then I'm going to stick it down. Sticking down is always a good one. Yeah, it's. I don't think this is the right black rubber eyeball. But you know how I've been going on about black erasers and how wonderful they are? Well, I don't think this is the right brand. It's awful. I thought it was better than that. I was really excited for a minute there. I'm not excited anymore. All right, so this is sort of, making it look a little bit better, and we can see it. Now, we can start to get a little bit creative. All right?
Mm.
So what you can do is very lightly go over what you've already done, but leave out any lines that you don't. So, I'm going to leave that line out and that line out so I don't see it all the way through. So I'll just very lightly
So
go
the
up.
final version is like very neat.
Absolutely.
On the third, like on another trace paper.
Yeah,
which we don't need all of these dots and.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the dots and things will disappear. It's just so that you can see what.
But you redo it on the second trace paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so that you can end up with something neat. But I do the dots for you.
Yeah.
So that you can see where things are intersecting. It's not, once you get used to it, you won't need to do that. And I can actually draw a perspective without.
I know.
The dots and
all
stuff.
All these dots.
Yeah. So it's just so that when you're learning, you can see the dots and that sort of thing. And that one's going to go there, and very lightly do the bed, because we are going to soften. Don't draw that line there, all right, of the bed.
Yeah.
I'm just going to draw that one, and then that one straight up. Oops. And then that one straight across. The good thing about drawing a perspective is that when you go into SketchUp or ArchiCAD or Revit or whatever program you're going to learn, it helps you to be able, because you'll see lots of lines in those particular programs as well. It helps you to understand what you're looking at. So this is good for you. Believe it or not, this is really good for you guys. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, no, it's the base, I think, base of everything.
Yeah.
Which
you
the
might,
start of everything.
You might not want to draw freehand perspectives, but what it does is it helps you to understand and to make sure that whatever you do on a computer looks correct. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm going to draw that one down, and I'm going to draw that one down. Why is that not doing that? Oh, no, it is. And that one, I don't think I've drawn a couple of lines. I better check. Let me check. I'll just put that piece of trace paper there. All right. Okay, so I need to draw that line in there. Where is it? I've just lost it. There it is. Somewhere there. There we go. And then that one. And then that one.
When you're gonna start SketchUp?
Well, what I'm hoping is that, we can learn SketchUp online, but it means that you will have to buy a student version. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is about $90. Okay. It says $70, but that's in American dollars, so be careful of that. You can have a free trial of SketchUp Pro.
For 1 month. Already
for 1
finished it.
month, but then after that you're going to have to buy it. But if you want to, I mean, it's something that it'll be for a year or until you stop studying, okay?
Yeah.
As long as you can prove that you're a student, you can still download it. But you've got to prove that you're a student and then you can download it, but you can pay a fee to have it for 1 year. It normally costs about $800 or $900 if you were going to buy it as a, and so you guys will get it for $90. Not every company does that. Like Adobe lets you have it for a really good price if you're studying. ArchiCAD will give it to you for free. AutoCAD or Autodesk will give you stuff for free as long as you can prove that you are a student. Okay. But as I said, not every company will do that. So all you need is you just need your student card. Take a picture of your student card with your phone. Save it as a picture. So when you go on to the site, they will ask you to put a picture to show that you are actually a student, and
Yes,
that's what you upload. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is very good to be able to use it. Otherwise, you have to. But Adobe's quite good because that's for Illustrator and Photoshop and stuff like that. You can actually, you don't actually have to buy it outright as a business. You can pay for it per month instead. So when you're not using it, you can, stop the subscription and then start it again, I believe. So it makes it, because those programs are like $10,000, they're really expensive. And not even every, I mean, that's just for one download. That's not for a couple of downloads. That's just for one or maybe two people. When you've got a whole company, it becomes outrageously expensive. So I think it's a really good idea that they've created it so that you pay per month for it, and then that way you're not outlaying a whole lot of money, and if you don't have as many people, you're not buying as much. It sort of works out a lot better, I think, anyway, particularly if you're running a business, because it's very, it's a lot of money, and you want to make sure that you're up to date with everything, but it's a lot of money. And I'm just going to build that building in there. All right, so you then should have something that looks vaguely like what I've drawn once you slide the page underneath. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
sorry, are we going, you're going to explain the top of the bed?
Yeah, I will in a minute, but not yet.
Okay.
Because we've got a couple more things to draw, and then we'll do that. It's just that I wanted you to leave that line out before you even draw it, because then it doesn't look really awful when it comes to that. What time is it? I'll do this little bit, this other little bit where we put the bed head and the picture in, and maybe the trees out the back, and then we'll have a little bit of a break so that you don't go mad, because I was exhausted yesterday. I don't know about anybody else who went online yesterday, but I was so tired by the end of the day. Just But anyway, at least you can see this. Right, so we're going to put a bed head on the bed. So I might just remove that sheet so I can vaguely see my grid underneath. And where I drew the bed before. And we're going to make the bed head sit probably 1,200 off the ground. And to do that, I can either measure up in this space here along one of these lines, 1,200, or I can guess it. So I can guess that that's a meter, and that looks like 200 to me. But I can also use my ruler in here, of course using the right thing. Hopefully you can see that. Let's just use the right thing again. You can just measure up that wall. And the reason why I've done it on this side of the room is because it's all a bit complex over there. and then I can see better over here. Okay.
Okay.
But then I have to get that mark over the other side, and you do that by just putting your ruler horizontally. Make sure the ruler is parallel to any of the grid, and then you put the marking on that side. So I've just put it as a marking. I didn't draw a line all the way across.
Okay.
Okay. Now that I've got the 1200 on that side of the room, I'm going to go from that point where those two walls meet and go back to my vanishing point, and I'm very, very lightly going to draw another line down here. So this is another height line. This line is 1200 all the way down this wall here.
Yeah.
And that means that when I go to draw the bed head, I know where to stop. So if I go to this front corner of my bed and I draw a line going straight up until it I hope you can see my fingers are in the way. And when that line intersects with the line I just drew out there, that's the top of the bed head. I'll do it on the...
Sorry, was it the top of the bed? I mean, which line? Where did you start? Yeah, that corner is...
Yeah, that's where the bed... So you can even go back to where you were here and draw it from, from the ground. But it's from the top of the bed, just before...
okay, the bed line we did already. Okay.
So if you draw that up, and then this is the other side of the bed here, and I'll draw that one up too, making sure that my lines are as parallel as possible. And I'll put it up. Well, I'm putting dots there so that you can see where it intersects. You don't have to put a dot there if you don't want to, as long as you can see it intersecting. And then that becomes my bed head, and I'll get rid of the rest of my height line, and I'll get rid of that part of it. And I can put a little tiny bit of a thickness on this bed head and do whatever I want with it afterwards. So I'm just going to bring it out a little tiny bit. I'm not even going to measure it. And I'm just going to do a parallel line going down there, following my bed head, just so it's got a little bit of thickness at the front here. And then I'll follow this one going back to the vanishing point. I'll then bring this one coming straight out horizontally until it intersects with the line that I just drew, and then I'll draw another vertical line so it comes back down to the top of the bed. Can you see that? Let me just put my... Whoops, not that one, this one. So see how I've drawn a thickness here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can have it any thickness you like, depending on what you...
So the line on top was parallel with the first line we drew. This line is...
This line here?
No, the
That
other
line?
one on the...
This one?
No, the one you drew from the vanishing point is parallel with the...
Well,
yeah, that one.
That one. Well, that is at an angle. This one out here will be at an angle too. So this will look a little bit bigger than that one.
Ah, okay.
Just a tiny
so
bit.
It's
it looks parallel.
So it's again from vanishing point.
Because
okay.
that first one was at an angle. So anything that remains vertical and horizontal will remain vertical, and lines that go that way will be horizontal. But the sides of the objects, see how the side of that object and the side of this object have angles on them?
All have angles.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how you're going to do it. And then I'm just going to follow that line down so it looks like the bed head goes behind the bed. And then I'm just going to draw a line from there to there. So it looks like the bed, and then get rid of that. And get rid of that. So I'll miss part of my other side, and then that's my bed head. Okay, just very simple. Just make it square. So all of these, when you look at them, they've got a face and two sides, and they've got a top. Now the face of everything will remain vertical and horizontal. Okay? See how that's vertical and horizontal? That's vertical. Sorry, that's vertical and that's horizontal. But the sides of everything is at an angle that goes back to the vanishing point.
Okay, correct.
Okay. Now let's put a picture above that. And I'm just going to draw my picture so it ends up being the same width as my bed head. So I'm just going to draw a couple of light lines from the back of my bed head all the way up until they, I don't know if you can see those. You can't see them, can you? Let me do that again with a little bit more oomph. That one. And then there. I'm just going to make it sit exactly in line. It's going to be a long picture. Like that. And then I can work out, again, if I want to have the picture start 300 above my bed head, then I've still got this mark on the back wall. I can measure up on this line because this is the only thing that's in scale. And if I add on that wall, sorry, I'll do it this way because otherwise I'll confuse you. Can you see that 300 on that side? I'm going to measure up from that point 300, and then from the top here I'm going to measure 1, 2, 3. I'm going to measure 300 as well. So from the top of the room and from where we had the height line point on this wall.
Mm-hmm.
So up 300 and then down 300, whatever, I don't know what's left in between. Once I've done that, I can then bring those two heights out along this wall so it forms my picture. So from my vanishing point, between those two lines there, from my vanishing point, between those two lines, those two vertical lines there, and then I can just darken in where my picture is going to be, and you can put any sort of, you know, design or picture in there like that. So there's my picture. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, above there.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're just going to draw the outside where the veranda or whatever it is going to be, and all I'm going to do is I'll go back and I'm going to use my grid, even though I'm going to use the grid to help me draw it, but I'm not going to use the lines on the grid. So I'm going to pretend somewhere about here that I'm going to draw a line going horizontal all the way across until it sort of gets almost halfway through that second door. And then from that point, I will draw a line coming down from the vanishing point, and I'll make it stop where the door is. And what that's doing, because I'm actually drawing backwards into the vanishing point, what that's going to do...
Sorry, the height of this line doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
I mean, you could make it start from there. You don't have to measure it, just sort of guess it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? And then draw it out there until it finishes sort of halfway through this door here, and then from that point go back to your vanishing point and draw from your vanishing point. And then that looks like there's an outside there, yeah, through the glass doors. And then you can start to do the detail on the picture, which has got a couple of trees and stuff on the outside, which I'll just bring up. Oh, I should have printed that one out as well. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Oh, back. Okay, so can you see the trees?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you don't have to do the dining table and chairs, all right? Don't worry about that. That's okay.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to do the trees, a couple of trees and a couple of bushes, and they're just it's a very simple thing. It's not too complex. So I'm going to think this is where my tree is going to start here, And I'm going to put my other tree over here. And there's going to be a bush here. So to draw bushes, which sounds really weird to say that, it's just a squiggly line. So this is, and you don't do all of it. You just do some of it, like this. Can you see what I did there?
Yeah.
And then occasionally you can put a leaf here and there, like that. And that makes it look like a lovely thing. See it?
I think so. My daughter draws pretty much same.
Yeah. Okay, so that's just a bush, all right? So that's what I'm going to do sort of at the bottom here. I'm just going to very lightly do this. So I know where I'm going to put everything. And I'll do it over here so it sort of sits over the bottom of the tree over here. Nice little bushy type of thing. Like that. And then these two things on the ground, I'm just going to bring them up. And I'm going to just draw.
My daughter will love this. Bush and the trees and flowers.
And floors and things like that.
Yeah, can we have a cat there too?
Yes, where would you like
cat
on the edge of the bed?
Yeah, very nice. That would be really good.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. So I'm just drawing a very basic tree, and I'll do the same here as well. I don't know what sort of tree it is. Don't ask me the plant name of the tree. It's some sort of
gum tree should be.
Yeah,
or maybe the jacaranda.
A jacaranda, different kind of tree. I'm drawing a different kind of tree. I think what I'm drawing is I'm going to pretend that it's a paper bark tree, small paper bark trees. All right, that's what I'm thinking, and I'm going to stick to that. So just very simple, because we can come in and put detail later. And then with the same squiggly thing here, you can do here as well, around where the branches are. Okay.
I love the details of the bed. Yesterday you put like the
pillows and
pillows and the I really like that.
Okay, we're going to do that. We are going to do that.
Yeah, this looks nice also outside.
Yep, so there's just, and we're not going to do a lot of detail on the outside. We're just going to put in a little tiny bit. Okay, and we'll come back and do some more. I'm just going to get rid of that, and I'll maybe be
So this is the last trace paper I use.
This is the last trace paper that we're using at the moment. If you need to do another one, by all means, do that, because it's up to you what you can see. So I've got a bush, a tree, and a tree outside. That's lovely. Thank you so much. Now, we are going to draw some pillows on the bed, and we're going to draw some lights, and we're going to draw a throw as well.
It's not easy to draw those trees.
Sorry?
The tree is not easy to draw. I think for me the whole bed is much easier than the trees.
Just, you can always trace trees in later, I suppose. All right, so we're going to draw some pillows, and we need to draw the pillows so that they're sort of at a slight angle. And I'm going to do that by finding the center of this line here by guessing it. No. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. So that's the center, and then I'm going to bring it up to about there. I don't know what that height is. I'm just sort of guessing. It's about 2/3 from the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to take that point and draw it very lightly all the way across the bed head. and then stop it. So it just sits on the bed head. And then I'm going to come in here probably to, I don't know, around about, let's say halfway through where the side table is, so somewhere about there. And then from that point, I'm going to draw a line diagonally like that. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And then I will bring this line back down here very gently, like so. Until it gets to where the bed is. So that's where the line on the bed originally was. And then from that point, I will draw another line from there going up so that you've got something that's leaning back like that. And I can just get rid of what's in there and what's in there. And then I'm just gently going to take a little bit of that off. Now that's just setting you up so that you can draw your pillows. And my pillow is going to now become puffy. This is where you do a bit of freehand drawing on this side, and it will be not as puffy on this side. Okay. So that it ends up doing something like that, and then I'll find the center of this and do that a little bit and do that a little bit, and then that one comes down and just a pointy thing, and just soften all of those. So I end up, and I'm going to curve that slightly and curve that slightly and make that come down and around like that. So this line is going to disappear, and that inside line is going to disappear as well. It's only so that you can get the angle of the pillows. That's all those lines were. And then you can sort of fiddle around with it. I'm really bad at drawing pillows. I don't know why. I'm not a good pillow drawer. So I might put a few crinkles in there. Okay, so there are my pillows. If I wanted to put a pillow in front of it, I can just sort of vaguely use the same type of shape. And there's my throw pillow. But a smaller one going over the two of them. And then I'll do that and get rid of that. So I look like I've got a, something pretty over the top of it. And then pillow. And then you can decide what sort of lampshades you want. I'm just going to put in this, the last one I did square ones, but I'm just going to put a round lampshade on. So if you find the center of the top of the first side table, like so, by going from one corner to the other, that's the center, then I can go, okay, I'm going to put, this is where I'm going to put a lamp here. And then I can sort of just vaguely draw something that looks like a lamp. Like that. And then so that I don't get too confused, get rid of whatever's behind. Because you would trace, once you've got all this stuff in, you will trace it off one more time by hand so that it looks lovely. If you want to use a circle template to do that, just remember that when you draw the other lamp, which will be on this side, it will be slightly smaller. Okay, so I'm going to draw this one slightly smaller because it's away. And I'll just fiddle around with it until it looks vaguely the same as the other one. And then erase what I don't want to confuse me, like that. All right, so we've got lights, we've got pillows, we've got a picture. Now we want to make the bed look nice and soft. At the moment it's still a bit too square. So I'm going to leave that line as a straight line, but then I'm going to very gently curve that corner there, and then come down and very gently curve that corner there. So see how now that looks smoother?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Don't draw that line there. Then he does this thing which is really quite cool. Not on that where that line is, he sort of starts a little bit down further, and he does this kind of thing, all right? Just at different and odd angles.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you go, okay, so the first or the second, this first two here, I'm going to do that. And the second, leave a space, do that, do that. Very, very slight curve between the two of those lines, like that. And then on the inside, I'll very slightly curve every second one, like that. So you get something that's going to look like that.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay. So it just looks like it's a throw. Like it's one of those, just a thing like that. So that then looks like it's sort of nice and soft. Now this is still a straight line here. So what I might do is I might just bring that out and do that. So it goes out at a slight angle. And then we were going to do a throw over the top of this as well, so that we had a throw at the end of the bed there. I can probably, I don't know, you might have a turn down on your bed, but I'm not going to put turn down on mine, but I will put a coloured throw down towards here. So I'll mark on this side just how much space I want this coloured throw to be. And I'll go back to my vanishing point, and I'll just very gently draw a couple of lines across the bottom of my bed. Very, very gently. Now, to make it look like the throw is sitting on top of the bed, I am going to draw a very slightly wiggly line a little bit higher than where my bed is. Okay? See how that goes up a tiny bit and then down again?
Yeah.
That's so that we can see that it's sitting on top of the bed. Once I've done that, when I get to here, I can start to curve this down like where this curve is, very, very slightly curve it down. And you can either follow the existing ones, or you can, I'm only going to make mine go down to about here. And you can do some of your own. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go there to the edge and do that. So this is the throw over the top. Okay, and I might just.
Pretty.
Sorry.
Oh, pretty. This looks nice.
Okay. So then, and then that's it. But you can follow the same curved lines as the one underneath, or you can create new ones, as long as you make it look fairly good. And then if you like, you can put a rug on the floor. So I'm going to make my rug start a little bit away from the side table to about there. Very lightly. And then I want it to sort of come somewhere between here and where the end of the bed finishes. So I'm just going to put a dot there and use that so that so I can do that, and then I'll do another.
So you again use the vanishing point for this line also.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the lines are.
So that's horizontal, but that one goes back to the vanishing point because that line's going back. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, I'll put.
And then I'll just put some eraser marks in here and there so that this looks like it's, oh, it's horrible. Don't do that. Oh, it's just all black and horrible. Ugh, why are you doing that? Oh my goodness.
Okay, don't do that.
It's just doing horrible stuff. Anyway, it's just so that I can go dashy, you know, kind of stuff. Dashy and a bit crinkly. So that
Should render this, or it's just in black and white would be fine?
Sorry?
Should we render this?
When you, well, you can then trace it off onto bond paper. You won't be rendering it on the trace paper. You'll need to use your window at home to trace off all of this.
And the final version which we are going to submit should be rendered.
Yes, but we'll render it next week.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so what you can do, if you've got a scanner at home, you can scan it in. If you don't, you can use your window to trace off one of these. But I think what I was going to do is I thought that I was going to give you a smaller version of my drawings because some of you don't know how to make it smaller, you know, when you're scanning it and stuff like that. But I will still need to see your drawing, the line drawing, and then you'll render my drawing, okay? Because that way everyone will have access to the drawing, but I will still need to see your original line drawing. Unless you know how to scan this into your computer and then make it smaller and make it fit onto an A4 page, then I will give you the A4 page one. Do you kind of get that? What I'm saying? Yeah. But as I said, I will still need to see your version of the drawing just in line. Just take a picture of it. That'd be good. All right. So we've got all these bits and pieces happening. I've got that happening. You know, you can put a plant in there if you want to into a tub. It depends on what you want to do. But I'm just going to leave it like this to begin with, and then we can do the rendering of it next week. Oh,
I like these lamps better than the other ones.
Oh, okay. So
it's like so round. Circles are soft. Oh, the cat. Okay, don't forget about the cat. Oh, look. Sorry, guys, I have to leave you because my daughter is very noisy, and at the moment
Okay, no, that's fine.
Was really good. Thank you for your help again and time, and I really enjoyed. Hopefully, I don't have any issues this time. Oh, lovely cat.
What are you drawing?
I'm drawing a cat.
Oh,
it's lovely.
Salma, before I forgot, you can buy a table lamp or lamp table or whatever is the A3 size. I've got it. It's just $30 on eBay. Just check it somewhere.
Where did you get it?
Oh, really? How much? $3.
$30, yeah.
Oh,
from where?
And it's eBay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I need to find somewhere Georgia, so it just quite like thin.
Yeah.
Like a board kind of.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and it's very nice. Like all my drawings, I'm just keep doing because I don't have big. Yeah. So you can buy that one too.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm going to suggest that we have a little break for I don't know. I've got 1, 2, 3 of you here. Oh, someone's in the, sorry, I didn't see that. I'm a bit,
Recording? Or someone was joining for so long?
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was, I didn't see it on the thing.
Sorry, I have to. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you guys again. Hope to see you next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye so much.
For letting me. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, sweetie. Bye. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. But you're in now. Okay. All right. Do you want to just have half an hour, or do you want to have an hour, Tatiana? And
It's up to you, Anneli. I'm free.
okay. Well, I'll I think I'm going to need an hour.
Okay,
So we
that's fine.
can come back. So you can turn you don't have to leave the meeting if you don't want. If you just turn your camera and your mic off, you'll still be in the meeting. And if anyone wants to talk to me, I'll have my sound up so you can yell at me. But I'm just going to make myself some lunch before I pass out, I think.
Okay, then I'll come back at 12:30.
12:30, that'd be great.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll see you
I'll
guys.
enjoy lunch. See you
So
soon.
it is now lunch time. Thank you.
Thank you, Anneli. Thanks.
That's all right. Where's my thing? I don't want that one. I don't want lunch. There we go. Hopefully everyone can see that. Am I still sharing my screen?
That's fine. Enjoy your lunch.
Just so that if anyone comes in, they can see that,
Yeah.
got away. What do you feel like? Or will we have soup? Will we have soup or will we have a meal? Or will we have cheese and biscuits? Or I don't know. I don't know anymore. Well, that's good. Maybe have soup. 7 and bread. Free. excuse me, sir? Your meal? Is it right? Is that good? Oh,